Hi friends, I am so happy to welcome you to the Mallory Ford Books newsletter, video newsletter. I try to do these about once a month, so if you are new to the family over here, welcome. I'm so happy to have you. So as you probably can tell from my title of this video newsletter, we had quite the month in September. If you remember from last month, I had opened my Shopify store and I was going to sell direct, and I told you all about that. And I had reasons for doing that and they were fine. But you know what, guys? We can make our plans and the Lord determines our steps. And I'll tell you the story behind that. So I'd opened the store, it was doing fine. I expected that it was going to take a little bit of time to get off the ground. That really wasn't a huge issue for me. But something you need to know about selling direct through the Shopify store as opposed to selling exclusively on Amazon, which is what you have to do if your books are in the Kindle Unlimited program, which mine are. If you sell on Shopify, you can still sell on Amazon, but your books just can't be in Kindle Unlimited because if they're in KU, you can't sell them anywhere else. The ebooks, not the paperbacks, the ebooks. Okay. Pull them all out of the Kindle Unlimited program, which to that point had been a pretty good chunk of my income. And it's something I really enjoyed doing. I love to read on Kindle Unlimited, and I know that a lot of my readers do as well. But, there were some different reasons that I wanted to try something different and, just kind of see where it went. So, had been plugging along with that for a couple of weeks when one of my children had some abnormal blood work when I took him to the doctor for a virus that he had. I won't go into it super deep just because that's his information. It's not mine, even though he's a toddler. So I don't think he's going to care. But that was scary, and we had to go back and forth to the children's hospital in our state over the course of quite a few weeks. It felt like it was 3 or 4 weeks that we had to go back and forth to rule out some scary things and confirm, hopefully, what they all thought it was. Every single doctor thought it was this more mild diagnosis. But we did have to confirm that because the alternative was pretty scary. As I was doing that, he couldn't go to preschool, so I really had no work time other than just waking up at 5 o'clock in the morning to work and doing some after my husband got home from work, which is, never ideal. We do it when we have to, but it's never ideal. And in that time, it just became very clear to me. Sorry, my eyes are so shadowed, by the way. I don't really have a great spot to do these, and I don't do them often enough to create a great spot. So sorry, my eyes look very, very dark. I'm going to try to lighten it in editing, but we'll see. I don't really care. I don't think you do either. Anyway, so we were back and forth. My parents and in-laws were so great to come and help with my daughter. She didn't really miss a beat, other than just parents are not there all the time the way we normally are. And so all that to say, it just became really, really clear to me that simplicity was what I needed. And as we praise the Lord, we're able to confirm the diagnosis of the much more mild possibility. It just stayed really clear to me that simplicity was important. I am a mom of littles. This is a season. It is a season that will not last forever, but it is a season that I want to cherish in this time. I won't say that I cherish every moment. I definitely don't. I think that's impossible with small children who you are parenting and teaching them to be little citizens of the world and little respectful humans and disciples of Christ and all of these things that we are trying to teach them. It's impossible to not have some frustrating moments. But I really do try to be present. Because of that, just in full transparency, I work very part-time hours. I really try not to work over 15 to 20 hours a week. That is because the rest of that time, neither one of my children go to full day school programs. And because of that, I want to be present with them. I want to be the one putting them down for nap time. If that's not your family's situation, that's completely fine. Every family has to do what is right for them in the season that they are in. This just happens to be what works for us best, and honestly what works for my energy level best. When we first had our daughter, I was teaching still. I taught 9th grade English, fun fact, and I loved it, but I just didn't have the energy to do that as well as I wanted to, while also being the mom I wanted to be. And I know there are a lot of moms who do it and do it well, and there are a lot of people who don't have a choice. No matter what you're doing, you're glorifying the Lord, you're working as unto Christ, you're loving your babies, you're doing your job with integrity, you're doing it. You're doing an amazing job. But for us, and for what worked best for us, it was important that I don't work full-time hours. And so even though I work from home, if you've ever tried working from home with a toddler, maybe a little pandemic times, that's hard. And a toddler and another small child, that's also hard. So I ended up just completely closing my Shopify store, because the administration of it, the constant tweaking and babysitting of ads and things like that, it was too much for me. And that's not the part of this work that I enjoy. The part of this work that I enjoy is connecting with my readers, is writing the stories, is occasionally doing some business stuff, but not too much of the business stuff. So I do enjoy the creativity of the business side, that I feel like it works a different part of my brain. But at the same time, I'm just not interested in, letting that be a majority of my time. And it was taking up a majority of my time. And that time of pretty much taking a couple weeks off, 3 weeks off, to just be with my son, be what he needed me to be. Lots of snuggles, lots of, playing as much as we could. I really hope y'all can't hear my dog just like scratching behind me. She's very cute, and we love her dearly, but she's an itchy dog no matter what we do. I don't know if anybody else has an itchy dog. I think it's allergies. Anyway, so my husband and I prayed through it, and just came to the decision to close the Shopify store. And he asked me, he said, I don't want you to feel like you failed on this. And he was trying to give me so much grace. And I said, I did fail. But here's the thing, failure, I don't care. I am a big person. I believe in fail fast and fail forward. It doesn't bother me to fail. It really doesn't, because there's something else. If that didn't work out, that's okay. And you don't even have to call it failure. If it bothers you, it just doesn't bother me. So that's what I call it. I'm learning from it. And that experiment with my Shopify store clarified my priorities in a way that months and months of thinking and journaling and business planning could not have done. So fail fast and fail forward and move on and forgive yourself. And I didn't really feel like I had anything to forgive, because you just move on. But it became very clear to me that simplicity is incredibly important to me, and it is a priority of my business. And it has to be a priority of my business, because I have many other irons in the fire, and I want to be able to volunteer at my children's school, and I want to be able to volunteer at church, and I want to be able to let my husband go into the office and not have to worry about taking off to get kids to doctor's appointments, dentist appointments, or whatever. It just works best for us, for me to have the flexibility. I juggle a lot of things at once fairly well. the Lord has just really blessed me with the ability to multitask and the ability to focus and time management. And so that's what we've done. So the Shopify store is closed. My books are back on Kindle Unlimited. They never left Amazon. Yes. So other things that are much more spiritual in nature that we learned from this season of our life with dealing with the health issues was that the song by Ellie Holcomb, Red Sea Road, is a really special one to me, and it has been ever since I first heard it. But the concept of a Red Sea Road, of knowing what's behind you, is scary. But it's what you know. And knowing what's in front of you could also be scary, or it could be really good, but it's unknown. And you're standing at this sea, and the Lord's calling you to cross it. The Lord's calling you to take steps forward. But in order to do that, you have to trust that that Red Sea road, just like the Israelites, is going to hold, and the water's not going to come crashing down on you. And if the water does come crashing down on you, you have to trust that God is going to be with you, that He's not going to leave us, that He's not going to forsake us. We have to cling to Proverbs 3, 5, and 6. Trust in the Lord with all your heart and lean not on your own understanding. In all your ways acknowledge Him, and He will direct your paths. That's a hard one, guys. It's hard for me to learn, and it's one that I have to learn over and over again. Trust in the Lord with a lot harder for me to trust in the Lord if the diagnosis for my son had turned out to be the worst case scenario. Alongside us in that He never would have let us go. And that Red Sea road, the trust that it takes to step out into it, and the trust that it takes to take the burdens off our own shoulders and give them to the Lord as best we can. That's a hard lesson, and it's one that I am learning. I won't say I learned, I will say I'm learning. And I know that there's probably quite a few of us who have the same lesson to learn. So, that said, if you are staring down your own Red Sea and you need to trust that God is providing a way, that He is providing a Red Sea road for you, my prayer for you is that He will give you peace within that, and that He will give you strength, and that He will give you courage, and that at the end you will have a beautiful celebration when you lay eyes on the promised land. And we will not talk about the wilderness right now, but also let's just say I've walked around in the wilderness a few times in my life as well. A little happy to end our personal story, the Mallory Ford personal things, is that this past weekend we went with my parents to Pigeon Forge and Dollywood, and it was such a sweet time. It was an unexpected celebration for healthy children. Like I said, my son was diagnosed with the best case scenario. It will resolve on its own. It does require a care plan and some, things moving forward, but it'll change our life a little bit, but it won't change our life nearly as much as the alternative. So we're incredibly grateful, and we got to celebrate that, celebrating healthy children while we were there. My little horse girl was enthralled with the Dolly Stampede, y'all. I don't share pictures or their names publicly, but I have some of the sweetest pictures of her just lit up watching the trick riders, watching the performers. It's adorable. She had such a good time. And having my parents there was also really nice because we got to my husband and I got to sneak away for some dates, and it was so nice. I loved it. The weather was also amazing. It was 10 out of 10. 10 out of 10. Even with little bitties, and y'all know how it is with little bitties, vacationing anywhere. It's not really a vacation, it's a trip. But we had a blast. And we will definitely be going back probably sooner rather than later because we had such a good time. Anyway, so we, what was I saying? Oh, yeah. Okay. So updates for Mallory Ford books now that we're done with Mallory Ford Personal Corner. Mallory Ford books. So The Rancher's Unexpected Bride will be coming out very soon, probably within the next couple of weeks. Usually the audiobook is a couple of days past that. It's just when I can get my life together and get it all produced. Then The Rancher's Unexpected Bride is going to be really good. It's Riley and Paige's story, and I am so excited for you guys to get to read it. It's been a special one to write for a couple of different reasons, and I think you'll see that. You always see what the Lord is teaching me in my books, and this one is no different. And that'll be coming out, like I said, in just a couple weeks. I did have to push back the pre-order date for that, which most of y'all listen via audiobooks anyway. But if you also happen to buy the ebooks and you had pre-ordered the ebook, just know, yes, I did push the date back because I had to, because of all the stuff that was going on with my little. Mom hat comes first, author hat comes next. So that's what we did. And then, guys, my Christmas book. I don't know that I can adequately explain how excited I am for my Christmas book. It's a contemporary book. If you remember the character of Hannah that we were really introduced to in book 5 of the Magnolia Island series, she's got an eidetic memory. No, she technically doesn't have an eidetic memory. You're going to learn more about that, but because that's more of a childhood diagnosis. We're going to talk more about that. She's basically, she's got really, really good recall, and she's baffling to the doctors. But anyway, you'll dive more into that. Eidetic memory, photographic memory, colloquial saying that kind of describes what she is. But we're going to learn more about her. Anyway, so this one's really exciting, and my tagline for it is, if Hallmark and the Great British Baking Show had a book baby, this would be it. And then, of course, we're not just going to sprinkle in Jesus. We are going to pour full cups in of Jesus. And you're probably wondering, what is she talking about? Well, guys, there's bakeries involved. As you know, if you read the Magnolia Island series, there's a bakery involved. And I'm incredibly excited about it. There's actually a baking competition involved. So let me read the blurb to you, and I hope that you will get as excited as I am, because, guys, I can't tell you how stoked I am to write this book. In the snowy resort town of Reindeer Pass, a talented baker and a skeptical cop find love amidst a heated baking competition, unravel a mysterious sabotage plot, and discover that sometimes the sweetest prize isn't just victory in the kitchen. When Hannah, a law school dropout with an eidetic memory, rolls into the snowy mountain resort town of Reindeer Pass with nothing but a dead cell phone in her pocket and a job at the local bakery, she's thrust into a whirlwind of a baking competition that shines a light on both her talent and her shortcomings. Jace, a no-nonsense police officer and Hannah's unwitting landlord, isn't exactly thrilled about the influx of competition tourists flooding his town. Their first encounter is more than a little icy, but her quirky optimism thaws his tough exterior. As the Mistletoe Magic Christmas Baking Championship heats up, the Reindeer Pass Bakery team realizes someone is sabotaging their chances at the victory, and Hannah and Jace must work together to expose the culprit before they're eliminated. The two of them are like sugar and spice, but as they work to trust each other, their hearts just may be the sweetest prize. Isn't that fun? I'm so excited. Of course, like I said, there's going to be some faith in there. We're going to learn some things about ourselves and about Jesus and about the Bible and, all these things, because I don't know how else to write a book that has any truth in it at all without including scripture to go with it. So I hope that you guys enjoy it. I hope that y'all just fall in love with Reindeer Pass. And coming back maybe in December, I'll tell you guys what I've got coming around the bend for 2024. Which, how in the world? 2024? That's right. Okay, 2024. That's crazy. Okay. So I'll also talk more in November about why you need to be on my email newsletter, why you need to subscribe to my email newsletter. They're going to be getting lots of goodies in the month of December, lots of Christmas presents from me. And then I also have some really big and exciting news coming that's a little different for Mallory Ford Books, but it's something that really is sweet and means a lot to our family as well. So all of that to say, I hope you have the most wonderful October. I hope that your family is well and that you are well, but that most importantly, because we know that God is good to us, we can say it is well with my soul. That is my prayer for myself and for you, that I would remember, that we would remember that because God, He is on His throne. He is good to us. He loves us. He sees this life with a perspective that we do not, and therefore it is well with my soul. And if I keep my eyes fixed on Him, when my heart is overwhelmed, y'all, we know this verse, when my heart is overwhelmed, lead me to the rock that is higher than I. And I pray that for you too this week. So stay tuned, because I'm going to share a YouTube page from another author friend of mine who has her Christian romance books also on YouTube. And I hope that you will go and check her out and subscribe. If you are not subscribed already to my channel, please do it. Pretty please. Pretty please. We're so close to 1,000 subscribers, guys. Help me make it by Christmas. Or November 1st. It's a little optimistic. But anyway, thank y'all for watching. Please subscribe. We love you. Big heart hands. I hope that if you're on a mountaintop right now, that you can just bask in it. And if you're in a valley right now, that you have never felt the Lord nearer to you than He is right now. Much love, and have a wonderful day.
So I hope that you have been going over and going to the pages of a couple of my friends who have also been uploading their books on YouTube, also been uploading their audiobooks on YouTube. And one I want to share today is one that I've shared before, but I know that a lot of us get busy and we don't have time to go over and look at this author's book. So I hope that you get a chance to do that now. Her name is Lorana Hoops, and I'm going to link her page down below, but it is author, Lorana Hoops, and she's got lots of cool Christian romance books up there. And I just hope that y'all enjoy and listen to your heart's content. Thanks.